Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our regular council meeting of January 20th. We'll start with the Lord's Prayer. Anybody wishes may do so. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Laurie, call to order, please. Wendy and Betty.
Moved by Councillor Hewitt, second by Councillor King, that the regular council meeting of January 20th, 2026 be called to order at 5:33 p.m.
All in favor? Carried. Roll call, please.
Okay. Mayor Bennett,
Present.
Reeve Watt, Councillor Gauthier-Keel,
Present.
Councillor Hewitt,
Present.
Councillor Hootley, Councillor King,
Present.
Councillor Wren.
Present.
All present with the exception of Reeve Watt and Councillor Hootley.
Thank you. Confirmation of the agenda. Jennifer and Alan.
Moved by Councillor Gauthier-Keel, seconded by Councillor Wren, that the agenda of the regular council meeting of January 20th, 2026 be approved as presented.
All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Declaration of peculiar interest. Seeing none. Minutes and notes. Motion for December 16th meeting minutes. Wendy and Jennifer.
Moved by Councillor Hewitt, seconded by Councillor Gauthier-Keel, that the minutes of the regular council meeting held December 16th, 2025 be approved as presented.
All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Down to reports. CAO report. Dean's not here, so we can't ask any questions. Treasurer's report. Anything for... That's quite the report, Annie. Thank you very much. Very informative. And the auditors come in when? Next month? Okay. Any questions for Annie? No, seeing none. Public Works. Been very busy on the roads.
Yeah, it's, I think we spoke to even Councillor Wren about this before. I said it's a typical old-fashioned Christmas or holiday and season like that for the guys, and it's just been that type of winter that it's been kind of nonstop, and the freeze and thaw cycles, and it seems to snow a few inches every day, and it's been a lot. But the guys are busy. They've been in, and a lot of overtime, a lot of material being used, but it's we're keeping up with it and ready for more snow tomorrow.
Well, Mark, I can certainly tell you, and I'm sure Council has heard as well, that I continue to get compliments on how quick our guys are on the roads and how good a job they're doing. So certainly pass that on to our crew. Benny?
Absolutely.
I had the opportunity a couple weeks ago to ride along with in one of the plows, and yes, I agree. Yeah, I give them kudos. To operate one of those machines, you have to be an octopus because you're looking every which way. So great job for all of them.
Yeah, I'll pass that along. I know it's, we've tried it before, and we've been, I think twice we've done it now, where we've had a couple people come in on a later shift to kind of keep some of the main routes open, and then the rest of the crew coming in for 4 or 5 o'clock, depending on the event, and that's let us keep ahead of it. And so the 2 staff who are in early go home earlier, then the other trucks finish up, and it's letting us get ahead. So it's a little bit different approach than just all hands on deck at the same time, and it's letting us keep ahead of some of those main arteries. So it's worked out well.
Good.
It's got to be working, because when you hear people say, you can tell when you're on LV roads.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. Planners report. Laurie, any questions for Laurie? I see that the development behind the Pembroke Mall, they're still operating the equipment. Looks like they're going to go right through the winter, from what I understand. So that's good. We'll see certainly some action of homes in the spring. Alan?
Are we close to Traxton yet being fully approved?
Yes, so basically the LRO has dealt with the pre-approval, so the county should be issuing the final approval as we speak. I know Bruce was working on that, so then that'll finish those final registrations. So that one's well in hand. And then just to give also council that update that I've also understand that phase 2 of TMM that they're looking to, get some a package probably within the next month. So that'll be good as well too. That things are busy and continue to move. And I did include just related to the subdivision lots that were created, a little bit of a summary at the end of my report as well too, that gives you an idea of how many were draft approved versus final approved, because we did also have, and I included the draft plan, we did also have the LaPointe Elgin Street subdivision did get draft approval in December, so that brought in another 200 and some odd potential lots. So
Now all of us who need the people in the area to fill them, right?
that's right, and new people to come as well.
Okay, get a motion for the reports?
Do you want to do a verbal report or not?
Oh, I'm sorry, forgot about the mayor. Yeah, as Laurie mentioned, we did meet with TMM in December regarding phase 2, and they were just asking questions on the area and how best to attract new landowners and whatever. So we had a good chat with them, and they're very excited about moving into stage 2. Good news, Drive-In Road, looks like there's some action going on with the lights. I know that Dean and I sent the MTO contact a email probably middle of December or so with our dissatisfaction with what the lack of lights since they're up and the covers are on. They got pylons everywhere. They got signs up saying they're closed nightly, and we just told them it looks bad on Laurentian Valley, because even though we have no control over it, we asked them that things had to get done, and I'm not sure what happened, but it looks like people are back, employees are back working on that corner. So I'm got the fingers crossed that maybe it's going to happen. The tender is out for reconstruction of 148 with MTO. So I believe that closes the end of February, Mark. I don't know if you know that or not, but I think it is. So we'll see what transpires. I think the hope is that they'll start in the spring. Not sure how far they'll get the first year, but I think at Angus Campbell's where they'll start. So we'll see what happens there. Next week we have a meeting with the City of Pembroke regarding the rec for either reconstruct or new build or fixing what we have or what the city has. So hopefully we'll get some more news out of that next week, which I'll bring back to council. And I think that's it for now, unless there's any questions. Okay, get a motion now. Jennifer and Al.
Moved by Councillor Gauthier-Keel, seconded by Councillor Ren, that the council receive the following reports for mid-December 2025 to mid-January 2026 at the regular council meeting of January 20th, 2026. CIO's report, Treasurer's report, Public Works Manager's report, Planner CEMC's report, Mayor's report.
All in favor? Carried. Okay. So I have a motion for council and staff expense and allowance update. Who is doing that? Sorry? Okay.
Okay, so before you is the annual update for the expenses and allowances for conferences and et cetera. So it's based on the Appendix B of the meals and allowances rates produced by the CRA, as well as the Appendix A of the CRA kilometric rates. So it's just updating the bylaw that was passed originally in 2023 of September. And every year in January, we update it based on those new rates. The Schedule B is based on October 2025, whereas the kilometric rate is based on January 1st, 2026.
Okay, any questions for Roy? Motion? Wendy and Betty.
Moved by Councillor Hewitt, seconded by Councillor King, that Council of the Corporation of the Township of Laurentian Valley deems it expedient to update Schedule A of the bylaw to reflect the 2026 rates set by the Government of Canada with regard to Appendix B, meals and allowances rates, and Appendix A, CRA kilometric rates, and further that Council approve bylaw 2026-01001 to update expenses and allowances for the mayor, Reeve, and members of council, officers, persons appointed to local boards and committees for the Township of Laurentian Valley, and recommends that the council forward bylaw 2026-01001 as presented to the bylaw portion of the regular council meeting for January 20th, 2026 for enactment.
All in favor? Carried. And the next report in motion is Infrastructure Ontario. Annie?
Okay,
Please.
yeah, so this is a request for council to authorize the submission of the application to Ontario Infrastructure and Land Corporation. This is for the long-term financing of the work that was done on Robinson Road in 2025. It was budgeted that way as to be financed by debt, so you do have the bylaw in the bylaw section for that. So this will be the first of two bylaws. So this is the one to authorize the application, and then there will be a second bylaw for the final debenture. The work, as I said, was done in 2025 for a total of $463,000, which came in a bit under budget. The plan is to finance it over a 10-year loan.
Al?
I know we don't find out until after the application goes in, but do you know what Ontario infrastructure rate is today? Do you have any idea, approximately?
I am not sure. I think it's between 4 and 5, but I'm not like
that high?
100% sure.
Okay.
So, yeah, I tried to find out, but I didn't get
'Cause
anything.
I think the last one that we put through was like somewhere around 2 or 2.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that was golf course maybe. But,
It's been a while.
yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, anything else for Annie? A motion? Alan and Jennifer?
Moved by Councillor Wren, seconded by Councillor Gochekia, that the Council of the Township of Laurentian Valley authorize the submission of an application to Ontario Infrastructure and Lands Corporation, the OILC, for the long-term financing of Robinson Road and forwards bylaw number 2026-01002 as presented to the bylaw portion of the January 20th, 2026 regular council meeting for passing.
All in favor? Carried, thank you. We have the animal report for November. Questions, comments? Okay, seeing none. Move down to business. Mark, Miller Waste Contracts Extension, please.
Good evening, members of council. So tonight's report is for an extension and alteration to our current contract with Miller Waste, and it would be to enter an agreement with Miller for the provision of recycling services for the collection from non-eligible sources from January 1, 2026 to March 31, 2027. And there is per the attached agreement. So the township collection contract with Miller Waste was extended in April of 2025 for residential curbside collection until March 31st, 2027. And the collection contract, as it has been for several terms, is in partnership with the town of Petawawa and the city of Pembroke. And it's been a long-term beneficial agreement and getting some better pricing for the three municipalities. As council is aware, there have been new regulations that have been passed that were introduced by the province of Ontario, which transfers the responsibility of recycling from the municipality away from us to the province, and that was effective January 1, 2026. As part of the changes, the province has deemed various waste generators to be non-eligible sources, or NES. This includes any commercial, industrial business, churches, daycares, just to name a few. And even if they were participating in our collection program before, the province has deemed them to be non-eligible and basically on their own to figure out a way to do recycling. To encourage recycling for our township businesses, staff have been working with our partner municipalities to work on some pricing and a package to continue that service, which is something that we're allowed to do separately. So the pricing for this service would be two-part, and the first is what I'm bringing forward here, is the collection services by Miller Waste, and then the second, as part of the fee, would be processing by Mterra. Now, Mterra is the contractor hired by the province of Ontario that's operating out of the Waste Recovery Centre. And that's where all the recycling basically is in and transferred out now, and not so much the sorting that used to occur. I will be bringing a future staff report to council at the February 3rd meeting that will talk a lot more in depth of the charges and options and such moving forward for the NES collection, how it'll work for tipping fees, and if we're going to provide recycling and garbage and composting in some different stages. So this is sort of just step one of that to agree with Miller. With our partner municipalities, Miller has offered the same rate to all of us, so we're all being treated the same. And we're all looking to kind of move into this same collection service for non-eligible sources. The partner municipalities, for our cost, it works out to be $6.75 per stop is what Miller will be charging us to pick up. And then we would have processing fees to Mterra, which would be separate on top away from this. But this is just right now, again, just allowing Miller to keep collecting the material. The way the collection service works is that we'll be co-collected with Pembroke and Petawawa every Friday, and then the commodity that's being picked up would be opposite of what the residential stream is. So this week for residential, it would be your fiber, your cardboard. So on Friday, it would be container recycling for the commercial. So we do have 47 stops. We're the smallest out of the 3 partner municipalities that are non-eligible sources right now. And as I mentioned, we'll have a full breakdown of costs and some suggested changes to the consolidated tariff of fees bylaw at the February meeting, and some other options moving forward.
Okay, I know that Mark has put in and Kendrick has put in a lot of work into this, and really disappointed with the province and Mterra as to the timing of all of this. You know, we didn't find out a lot of information until early December, late November, and we were able to have a meeting with Mterra and delay the commercial pickup till April 1st for the new costing. Even with the calendars that went out, we assumed that Mterra, because we had no contact with them or very little, that everything was going to go the way we were told. But yet there are some errors in the calendar, and that's why the extra piece was sent out with it. Talking to people, they had no idea this was even happening, or found out very late and have a lot of questions. And certainly with the commercial sector, we're trying our best to work with them to come out with, as Mark said, with a decent price for them to continue what they do now. At the $2.20 rate is what they used to pay, the same as residents. But there's still a fair amount of work to be done. Mark, my question is, are we contacting the businesses individually from our municipality?
Yeah, so what we did, and we were ahead of our partner municipalities, so we got a notice from Miller, I think it was December 23rd, of what this rate was going to be moving forward. So We did, and Kendrick was in the office, and we did get notices out to all 47 businesses of the change, so they at least had it before January 1st. There was a lot of businesses that didn't even know that this was coming, so the first week back after the holidays, we had a lot of discussions with businesses, and not realizing that even ones that were participating in our program that were maybe only using our program for recycling and had other options for garbage, didn't use compost. And when we started kind of going down this path, we said, okay, well, the residential rate is this much and this new recycling fee is this much, and we were looking at maybe a combination of, but when we have businesses that we're trying to encourage to recycle and we're charging them a garbage collection fee when they're already paying another contractor for that, we sort of realize that we're going to overcharge and they're maybe going to walk away from a recycling program. So that's some of the information we're working on for the February meeting, is to put some pricing in. So it's some of the options we're going to look at is, if you want recycling, it's this many dollars. If you want garbage, it's this many dollars. If you want compost, it's this much. And you can take all three, you can take two, and try to offer some services just to help our businesses out. I mean, the businesses that we're trying to support are smaller businesses, not big corporations that have big compactors and other things that are at their facilities. And it's you know, adding an extra couple $1,000s onto some of these businesses could be huge for them. So we're just trying to work on a cost recovery basis, but give them something that they can work with and still be encouraged to recycle.
Al?
So it's really good that we've been proactive on this problem that we have. I'm just wondering, as a group, have we sent a letter to through Billy and the province on our displeasure on how this has been handled and how they're taking the commercial industrial out of recycling? To me, and I think to anybody that's into recycling the whole bit, it really doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
A lot of times they're some of the biggest producers of recycling products, and if all of a sudden it winds up in our landfill, then it's really going against what
Absolutely.
everything we've worked for over all these years. So maybe as the group through the Waste Recovery Center, that letter should be sent with all of our displeasure on how this has all been handled. I know it's kind of after the fact now, but if we don't say anything, then
No,
the
it's
province
not-
thinks everything's okay.
It's
right?
not really after the fact, because we only found out less than a month ago what was going on, so it's
Yeah.
still relatively new. Now, I must say that in the previous contracts we had for businesses, we technically didn't have a business contract for pickup of recycling.
Yes.
Because we were able to bring them underneath the umbrella of the resident, right? But obviously, the province didn't look at, wow, what are we gonna do with all these businesses down the road? So they weren't even part of the equation, and that's the frustrating part of it. Yeah, and
Yeah.
we have a waste recovery center meeting next week, so I'll certainly bring that up then.
Yeah, because even the collection process where, I know I talked to someone from Circular Materials this week and just trying to figure out new blue boxes and recycling bins for new builds. There was really no process put in place. Before, on home occupancy, our Brett, the building inspector, he would drop them off, and now the provinces, we drop off the green cart, and now we have to go through a process for the province. But we were just talking about how this would have been probably, I think, our third contract where we've had co-collection trucks where they're dual stream picking up two commodities, and now we've gone backwards where there's two trucks tracing each other around, where it's twice the fuel, and you know, it doesn't make sense, and there's things being missed, and you know, the calls have gone up because my recycling got picked up, my garbage didn't, and it's been a bit of a mess. I know only a few weeks in, but it hasn't been a very smooth transition at all.
No, and Circular Materials should, the organizer of all this through the province should have been on top of this months ago. You know, and Terra is doing what they can, and then they've been good enough to delay the charges till April, but really Circular Materials are the ones that, you know, Elizabeth was struggling from the center to try and get information to put into the calendar. It's just very frustrating on a big portion of service to our residents. So.
For sure, yeah.
But that's something else that we need to maybe get out in the public too, because I know, like over the holidays, I got questioned by a number of people is saying, where's my recycling schedule? And I said, they're coming. They're going to be out in the mail. All the information is behind, but people aren't realizing that it's kind of the blame has been put on the municipalities that we're late putting them out. But we should get that out there somewhere, if it's in our tax bills or whatever, that's the reason that they were late is because of.
Yeah, we were waiting for the information to put it
Yeah, and it's even interesting on the collection where, like the flexible plastics, we now put them with our cardboard, with our fiber. But there's other places in Ontario where it goes in their container recycling. So yes, they're picking up the same materials, but not the same way. So to say you can go across the province of Ontario and it's the same program, well, it is, but City of Ottawa, you put your plastic bags in with your container recycling, and in Renfrew County, you put it with your cardboard. And there's lots of people that have been saying that's not right, and I'm throwing it out, right? Because it doesn't belong there, not realizing that they are sorting the materials, but it's just been a real
and
mess.
there's probably different reasons why, and that's, I guess it's been proven that's the way they want it, put in the blue bins or yellow bins, because it's the best way to do it. But, we'd certainly encourage, and it's on our webpage as well. I've talked to a number of people that have actually gone on there and watched the videos and kind of get re-educated, I guess, onto how to recycle. It's like starting all over again in a way, but at the end of the day, hopefully we're going to have less materials in the landfill, and that's what we're all after. Okay, thanks very much, Mark.
Okay, no problem.
So we need a motion for that, please. Betty and Wendy.
Moved by Councillor King, seconded by Councillor Hewitt, that the Township of Laurentian Valley enter into an agreement with Miller Waste Systems for the provision of recycling collection service for non-eligible sources from January 1st, 2026 to March 31st, 2027, as per the attached agreement.
All in favor? Carried. Down to bylaws, I guess. Huh? Okay. Motion. Alan and Jennifer.
Moved by Councillor Wren, seconded by Councillor Gauthier-Keel, that the following bylaws be enacted, passed, and read first, second, and third time, and be numbered and signed by the mayor and the clerk, sealed with the seal of the corporation, and be engrossed in the bylaw book this 20th day of January 2026. Bylaw 2026-01001, to amend bylaw 2023-09049, expenses and allowances of the mayor, reeve, members of council, officers, persons appointed to local boards and committees for the Township of Laurentian Valley. Bylaw 2026-01002, Ontario Infrastructure and Lands Corporation application debenture for Robinson Road.
All in favor? Carried. Council acknowledgements. Question for Betty. Do you know if trivia night is sold out?
As of last night, Charmaine was saying there's 2 or 3 extra spots, I believe, and I will check out if you're in.
Okay. Good. Just
Do you have
wanna
a
get that
team
out there.
in, Your Worship?
Sure do.
Okay, just wanted to make
We're
sure.
going to try and get out of last place than last year. So.
There was 18 or 19 teams as of last night,
Okay.
and we're accepting up to 20.
Right.
So there was one kind of on the fence, but I will check with Charmaine tonight, and I will let Al know if you're confirmed.
Good.
All we want to make sure is that we beat the mayor.
All right. Anybody else? Seeing none, adjournment, I guess.
Note and file.
Sorry, note and file. Jennifer and Al.
Moved by Councillor Gauthier-Keel, seconded by Councillor Wren, that any items not specifically addressed by motion of council in the regular meeting of January 20th, 2026 be noted and filed accordingly.
All in favor? Carried. Confirmatory bylaw. Wendy and Betty?
Moved by Counselor Hewitt, seconded by Counselor King. Be it resolved that Council of the Township of Laurentian Valley approves confirmatory bylaw 2026-01003 as having been introduced, read a first, second, and third time, and the said bylaw be numbered and signed by the mayor and the clerk, sealed with the seal of the corporation this 20th day of January 20th, 2026.
All in favor? Carried. And adjournment. Jennifer and Betty.
Moved by Counselor Gauthier-Keel, seconded by Counselor King, that the regular council meeting of January 20th, 2026 be adjourned at 6:02 PM.
All in favor? Carried. Thank you, everybody, and good night.